What if I told you that the Las Vegas Strip, the most famous 4 miles of road in America, is quietly hemorrhaging billions of dollars while the smart money is secretly fleeing to safer investments? Today, we're exposing the 10 devastating reasons why the Las Vegas Strip is collapsing from within and why industry insiders are warning that the golden age of Vegas is officially over. But first, let me paint you a picture that will shock you to your core. Right now, as you're watching this video, there are massive casino properties on the Strip that are operating at less than 30% capacity. Billion-dollar resorts that once printed money are now struggling to cover their basic operational costs. And the most terrifying part? The general public has no idea just how bad things have become. I've spent months investigating this story, talking to former casino executives, construction workers, and financial analysts who have asked to remain anonymous. What they've told me will fundamentally change how you see Las Vegas forever. So buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the 10 reasons why the Las Vegas Strip is dying, and why some of the biggest names in the industry are quietly preparing for what could be the most spectacular collapse in modern entertainment history. Reason number 10, the convention center catastrophe. Let's start with something most people don't realize is happening. The Las Vegas Convention Center, which brings in millions of visitors every year, is facing an unprecedented crisis. In 2024, convention bookings dropped by 47% compared to pre-pandemic levels. But here's the kicker, they're not coming back. Major corporations are discovering that virtual conferences are not only cheaper, but often more effective than flying thousands of employees to Vegas. I spoke with Sarah Chen, a former convention coordinator who worked with Fortune 500 companies for over 15 years. She told me something that should terrify every casino owner on the Strip. Companies are realizing they can save millions by going virtual. Why spend $2 million on a Vegas convention when you can reach the same audience for $50,000 online? The writing is on the wall. The numbers back this up. Convention revenue, which used to account for nearly 30% of Strip income, has plummeted to less than 15%. That's a loss of over $8 billion annually that's never coming back. But the convention crisis is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's dig deeper. Reason number 9, the sports betting bloodbath. Everyone thought sports betting would save Las Vegas. Boy, were they wrong. When sports betting became legal nationwide, Vegas casinos celebrated. They thought they'd maintain their monopoly on the action. Instead, they created their own worst nightmare. Today, you can place a bet on your phone from anywhere in America. Apps like DraftKings and FanDuel have captured over 60% of the sports betting market. Meanwhile, Vegas sportsbooks are operating at massive losses. Here's a statistic that will blow your mind. In 2023, Nevada's share of national sports betting revenue dropped to just 12%. 12%! This is a state that used to control 100% of legal sports betting in America. William Martinez, a former Caesars executive, explained it perfectly. "We gave away our golden goose. We trained Americans to bet on sports, then made it legal everywhere." It's like McDonald's teaching everyone how to make hamburgers, then being surprised when burger joints opened in every neighborhood. The result? Sports betting revenue on the Strip has collapsed by over 70% since nationwide legalization. That's another $3 billion in annual revenue that's gone forever. Reason number 8, the millennial money problem. Here's something that keeps casino executives awake at night. Millennials hate traditional gambling. The average casino visitor is now 54 years old. Let that sink in. The biggest demographic in American history, millennials and Gen Z, are staying away from Vegas in droves. Why? It's simple. Traditional slot machines and table games feel outdated to a generation raised on smartphones and instant gratification. Walking around pulling levers on machines feels as archaic to them as using a rotary phone. Dr. Amanda Rivera, who studies gambling behavior at UNLV, shared some devastating research with me. Millennials spend an average of $47 per casino visit, compared to $312 for baby boomers. When your customer base literally ages out, you're in serious trouble. The casinos know this. That's why you see them desperately adding nightclubs, restaurants, and entertainment venues. But here's the problem. These additions rarely turn a profit. They're expensive band-aids on a fundamental demographic crisis. Reason number 7, the debt disaster. Now we need to talk about something that should terrify every investor: the astronomical debt levels crushing Strip properties. The average casino resort on the Strip carries over $2 billion in debt. MGM Resorts alone has nearly $14 billion in outstanding debt obligations. When interest rates started rising in 2022, these debt payments became crushing. Let me put this in perspective. Some Strip properties are now spending more on debt service than they're making in gambling revenue. They're essentially gambling themselves, hoping they can service their loans until conditions improve. Robert Kim, a casino finance analyst, explained the mathematics of disaster. When you're paying 8% interest on $14 billion, that's over $1 billion annually just in interest payments. If your property isn't generating at least $1.5 billion in operating cash flow, you're slowly bleeding to death. And here's the terrifying part. Rising interest rates mean these debt burdens are getting heavier, not lighter. Several Strip properties are already in technical default on their loan covenants. They're surviving on emergency refinancing and bank goodwill. Reason number 6, the labor crisis. Vegas has always run on cheap labor. Those days are over. The pandemic fundamentally changed the labor market. Service workers who once accepted minimum wage jobs are now demanding living wages, benefits, and better working conditions. The result has been a perfect storm of labor shortages and rising costs. Maria Gonzalez worked as a housekeeper at a major Strip resort for 12 years before quitting in 2023. Her story is typical. They wanted us to clean twice as many rooms for the same pay. Meanwhile, hotel rooms cost $500 a night, but they wouldn't give us healthcare. People got tired of being treated like garbage. The numbers are staggering. Labor costs on the Strip have increased by 68% since 2020. Meanwhile, productivity has declined as experienced workers leave and inexperienced replacements struggle to maintain service standards. Some properties are operating with skeleton crews, leading to longer wait times, dirtier rooms, and frustrated guests who are choosing to vacation elsewhere. Reason number 5, the online casino revolution. While Vegas was focused on building bigger and more expensive properties, a quiet revolution was happening online. Online gambling revenue in the United States hit $47 billion in 2024. That's nearly double the total gaming revenue for the entire state of Nevada. Americans are gambling more than ever. They're just not coming to Vegas to do it. The convenience factor is undeniable. Why fly to Vegas, pay for hotels, meals, and drinks when you can gamble from your couch? Online casinos offer better odds, no travel expenses, and instant access to thousands of games. Jennifer Walsh, who runs an online gambling analytics firm, showed me data that should terrify Strip executives. The average online gambler spends 4 times more annually than the average Vegas visitor. We're talking about $8,000 per year online versus $2,000 per Vegas trip. The pandemic accelerated this trend by years. Millions of Americans tried online gambling for the first time during lockdowns, and they haven't looked back. Reason number 4, the Airbnb accommodation crisis. Here's something most people don't realize. Airbnb and vacation rental platforms are quietly destroying the Strip's accommodation revenue model. Vegas hotels used to have a captive audience. If you wanted to visit Vegas, you had to stay in a casino hotel. Not anymore. Today, you can rent a luxury home with a pool 15 minutes from the Strip for less than the cost of a basic hotel room. Families and groups are discovering they can stay in properties with full kitchens, multiple bedrooms, and private amenities for a fraction of hotel costs. The impact has been devastating. Hotel occupancy rates on the Strip have dropped to their lowest levels in 30 years, despite aggressive pricing strategies. Properties that once commanded premium rates are now competing with budget alternatives. Tom Harrison, who owns several vacation rental properties in Vegas, explained the appeal. A group of 8 friends can rent my 5-bedroom house with a pool for $300 a night. That same group would pay over $2,000 for 4 hotel rooms. It's not even close. This trend is accelerating. New vacation rental properties are opening monthly, while hotel revenues continue declining. Reason number 3, the transportation transformation. Las Vegas was built on the assumption that people would fly in, stay on the Strip, and spend everything in the casinos. That model is collapsing. Rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft have made it incredibly easy and affordable to stay off-Strip and commute for entertainment. Visitors are discovering they can stay in cheaper hotels away from the Strip and visit only when they want to gamble or see shows. The result? The average Vegas visitor now stays 2.3 nights compared to 4.1 nights a decade ago. They're also spending significantly less per day because they have easy access to cheaper food, drinks, and accommodations off the Strip. Marcus Johnson, who drives for Uber in Las Vegas, sees this trend firsthand. I pick up people staying in hotels that cost $60 a night, and they're taking $20 rides to the Strip for dinner and shows. They're saving hundreds of dollars compared to staying on the Strip, and they're having the same experience. This mobility has fundamentally undermined the Strip's business model, which depends on keeping visitors trapped in a controlled environment where every dollar spent stays in the casino ecosystem. Reason number 2, the entertainment expense crisis. Vegas built its modern identity on world-class entertainment. Celine Dion, Elton John, and Cirque du Soleil shows became massive draws. But the economics of entertainment have fundamentally shifted. Major headliner residencies now cost casinos upward of $100 million annually. These used to be profitable investments that attracted high-rolling gamblers. Not anymore. Today's visitors come for the shows but skip the gambling. They're treating Vegas like a normal entertainment destination rather than a gambling mecca. The result? Entertainment venues are packed, but casino floors are empty. Lisa Park, who worked in casino entertainment booking for 15 years, explained the crisis. We're paying Adele $50 million for a residency, and her fans are coming to Vegas, seeing the show, eating dinner, and leaving. They're not gambling. The show sells out, but we're losing money on every performance. The pandemic made this worse. Many iconic shows closed permanently, leaving expensive venues empty. Properties are struggling to find entertainment that both fills seats and drives gambling revenue. Reason number 1, the institutional investment exodus. Here's the most terrifying trend of all. The smart money is leaving Vegas. Institutional investors who once viewed Strip properties as solid investments are quietly divesting their positions. They see the writing on the wall and are moving their money to more stable markets. In 2024, institutional ownership of Strip properties dropped to its lowest level in 40 years. Pension funds, hedge funds, and sovereign wealth funds are selling their stakes and investing in sectors with better long-term prospects. David Chin, who manages real estate investments for a major pension fund, told me something chilling. Vegas was a great investment when it had a monopoly on gambling and entertainment. Now it's just expensive real estate in the desert competing with casinos, online gambling, and entertainment options nationwide. The competitive advantages are gone. The exodus is accelerating. As property values decline and operating costs increase, even more institutional investors are heading for the exits. Private equity firms that once fought to buy Strip properties are now focused on selling their positions before values collapse further. The inevitable conclusion. So, there you have it. 10 devastating reasons why the Las Vegas Strip is dying and why the smart money is running for the exits. Convention revenue has collapsed. Sports betting has gone nationwide. Millennials are staying away, debt levels are crushing, labor costs are soaring, online gambling is dominating, Airbnb is providing alternatives, transportation has created mobility. Entertainment costs are unsustainable, and institutional investors are fleeing. Each of these trends individually would be manageable. Together, they represent an existential crisis for the Las Vegas Strip. The golden age of Vegas, where casinos printed money and visitors had no alternatives, is officially over. The Strip is now just another entertainment destination competing in a crowded marketplace, but with some of the highest operating costs in the industry. What happens next? Some properties will adapt and survive. Others will close, be demolished, or converted to non-gaming uses. The Vegas of the future will be smaller, more focused, and fundamentally different from the Vegas we know today. The question isn't whether change is coming to the Strip. The question is, which properties will survive the transformation and which ones will become casualties of an industry that waited too long to adapt to new realities? If you're planning to invest in Vegas real estate or casino stocks, you might want to think twice. The smart money has already made its decision, and if you're planning a Vegas vacation, you might want to book it sooner rather than later. The Vegas you know may not be around much longer. What do you think? Have you noticed these changes during your recent Vegas visits? Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this investigation valuable, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories the mainstream media won't tell you. The Las Vegas Strip, 4 miles that once defined American entertainment, now facing the fight of their lives. The clock is